Hey guys, welcome to another New World video. In today's video, I wanted to finish up updating my crafting guides. I had been putting this off for some time and my current guides are way out of date, but the reason I hadn't updated them until now was because they'd made so many changes to the crafting system almost every patch since last summer. But now I think we're in a spot where I can update them in a more final, meaningful way. Or at least for a while. And let's be honest, other than the Spriggan event, there really isn't a whole lot else going on in New World right now. So what better time to get this done? So in this one, we will be updating weaponsmithing. This one is the final guide in this series, and it did take me a little more time to finish. We'll get into why in a moment. But here it is finally, so I hope it helps. So in any event, let's get into it. Weaponsmithing in New World is a very important skill. It allows crafters to craft weapons, obviously, including great axes, long swords, round shields, rapiers, shields, and warhammers. But that's not all. It also allows them to craft sharpening stones that are important in both PvP and PvE environments. Before I begin with the leveling, I wanted to cover a couple of things that will make leveling much easier. This will of course apply to every stage of your training. This way I don't have to mention it every stage over and over throughout the video. First, townboard requisitions. These are your best friend while leveling weaponsmithing. There was a time when they didn't really matter so much, but with the changes over the past few months, they provide huge amounts of experience for your weaponsmithing trade skill, at a very, very low resource requirement. And as we know, weaponsmithing can be very resource intensive. The only reason you can't fully max a trade skill in this manner is because the limitations built into the system. Townboards take 30 minutes to refresh, and getting weaponsmithing requisitions are random, of course, so you won't be able to level using townboards. However, don't skip them or forget them either. Doing only a few will save you thousands of resources in the end, so it is always recommended. Another new system I need to mention is the perfect salvage system. I won't get into that. I have made a guide on this system and provided a link in the description to do it. But the important thing to know here is that when training a trade skill, always craft in sessions, breaking the total for each tier into pieces, like 50 per session or whatever. This way you will always be able to utilize the potential scraps you receive from perfect salvages for free experience. And it is not an insignificant amount of experience either. I recommend checking out that guide. So for the leveling. So in the past, this would be where I break down weaponsmithing into sections of 50 and list what you should make and the amount of materials required to make them. However, now things are quite a bit different. This is of course because of the changes they made with the introduction of the 3 times crafting experience bonus for your first time crafts. I will say now though, that although weaponsmithing has changed in huge ways, you will still have some grinding ahead. Not a ton like before, but also not none. The nice thing here, however, is that this skill was once one that broke people. It even caused some to quit, costing over 500k to max. Now it is nothing in comparison. I completely finished this training on my alt for right around 35k coin, which to be fair is still quite a high amount, the highest that I used for any of these skills. But when taken in comparison to what it once cost, it is less than 10% of what it cost in those days. So to begin, first as with everything now, you will begin by making one of everything. And to avoid any low-level grinding wasting coin for no good reason, you will also want to take a break every 10 minutes or so and travel to all the settlements. When you travel to them, you will be looking for weaponsmithing townboard projects. This is very important and shouldn't be skipped. This will carry you past small walls that you would otherwise hit, and it will continue to unlock more recipes as you level. Doing this will easily get you all the way to 141 weaponsmithing, which is impressive, and this will be where you hit your first big wall and have nothing else to make. And at this point, doing townboards won't save you. So this is where you will do your first mini grind. So here we will be making 53 star metal greatswords. This will require 689 azurite chunks. This is much cheaper than using star metal ingots. 371 whisper wood, also cheaper than using any other wood really. You can get whisper wood for less than a coin each. And 424 rawhide. I got all of these materials for a combined cost of 2,476 coin. So not really bad at all. This will carry you to 150 and once again you can continue with your first time crafts as before. However, at this point you won't get very far. At 155 you will be stuck again. So here you will make 20 orichalcum greatswords. This will require you to buy 280 cinnabar, 140 more whisper wood, 160 rawhide. I got all of these materials for 2,002 coins, so again, a very small investment compared to the old days. This will get you to 160, which is the magic spot, which will unlock all of the high level replicas you can then continue with your first time crafts. This will get you almost all the way there. But you will run out of things to craft at around 186 weaponsmithing, and this is where you will hit your final wall, and now you will need to push to finish up. This will be the most expensive segment, but nothing like it used to be. So here you will be making 87 Lazarus greatswords. This will require 1218 cinnabar, 609 whisper wood, 696 rawhide that you will convert to coarse leather, 870 spectral dust, and 87 metallic bone weave. I chose Lazarus greatsword replicas simply because of the low cost of the Lazarus spectral dust and the metallic bone weave, but you can make whichever are the cheapest on your server. All of these materials cost me 8,792 coin, so really, to make this many swords really wasn't a huge investment. And then on top of that, you can then salvage them for orichalcum ingots that you can sell back, so you'll make back a good percentage of your coin. And that's it, now you're done. This was by far the easiest 0 to 200 weaponsmithing training I've ever done. It was almost unbelievable how cheap and easy it was compared to how it was before. So now that we are 200 weaponsmithing, what's next? Well, time to get to work. First, you're going to need your weaponsmith set. This is completely mandatory if you plan to craft 600 gear score weapons, and we probably wouldn't have leveled this expensive skill if we didn't plan to. So let's have a look at the gear and where we will be getting it. To farm the helm, you will want to kill High Priest Osaguera, found in the Great Cleave in Halo Visage. For the chest, you will want to farm Artifacts Fatum. You can find this mob in Upper Harrow in the Shattered Mountain. For the gloves, Juna, found in Profane Prospect in Eden Grove. For the pants, you will want to farm Articulon the Unshackled. This guy has 2 potential spawn locations. First in the Great Cleave in the Mangled Heights. Second in the Great Cleave in the Halo Visage. For the boots, you will want to farm Sessa in the Serenity Sanctuary in Evanscale Reach. You will also need an earring with a +5 minimum weaponsmith crafted item quality. These have been changed slightly and drop far less in the world now. However, the orichalcum weaponsmith charm is very cheap on the market and can be used at your outfitting station to craft your own earring by adding it to your desired mod slot. This earring can be low level, any quality, none of this matters. You will only be wearing it to craft, and all that's important from it is the +5 weaponsmithing. Next up, trophies. You will of course want to have your 3 times major weaponsmith trophies. These aren't quite as important as your armor set, as they do not increase your max potential roll on crafting. They do, however, increase your minimum roll, so you can craft 600 gear score items without them. However, they will decrease your roll range, giving you along with everything else the desired 595 to 600 potential roll, decreasing your chances at rolling purples and increasing your chances at rolling legendaries. And finally, the food. As a weaponsmith, when you craft, you're always going to want to have Savory Vegetable Medley on hand, as these provide you with the needed +15 minimum gear score when you craft weapons. Well guys, I hope this updated guide helps those of you who have been posting on my old ones requesting it, and as things change, I will try to keep these up to date as possible. If you have any questions, please feel free to check my Discord. I or someone there will be available to help. And as always guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.